let me just say that too often, one of the things that people do is that they don't prepare to pray. It's very important that you prepare to pray, that you think through, what's my motive? What's my goal? What issues am I facing? Really clarify, being concise about, how I'm feeling. One of the things we want to make sure of when we're in prayer is that we're sincere. That it's not just going through the motions or praying a prayer that we heard somebody else pray, but we call that vain repetition, or just kind of spilling out what's on our mind. We don't want it to be a venting session either, because part of the process is that it's reverent, that is honorable, that is gracious, that is appreciative and thankful. So part of that whole process of prayer is to also to be able to identify the good stuff. Not just look on the worst case scenario. Somebody say, well, it's hard for me to see the good when I'm experiencing a tough, troublesome time right now in my life. Well, even in the midst of that, we got to search for something to be thankful for. Okay, so because part of the prayer experience is praise, thanksgiving, gratitude, appreciation to God for what he's done. So it does take a kind of introverted kind of look, reflection on where I am and what's good, what's happening in my life, and then moving forward to lay out, the problems, the issues, the struggles, the obstacles, and looking at those kind of in a way that God wants you to look at them, asking God to even show you, Lord, please examine me, help me examine myself, so that I can be properly gauge what the issues are. Because a lot of times our biggest problem is just being able to identify, diagnose what the problem is. And if you don't have the proper diagnosis, you can't come up with the proper prognosis or remedy or prescription. So it's important that God inspires us to understand ourselves a little better, our circumstances a little better. And that's what prayer is all about. Seeking God for wisdom, counsel, instruction, insight, discernment, knowledge. All this is part of the prayer process, the preparation for prayer process. Assignment number one for the preparation process for prayer is just simply put a list together, a list of blessings. And these are things that you refer back to later, and things that this list will be built upon. It's important that you develop and sense and gain an appreciation for the simple things, life, health, strength, clarity of thought, a good night's sleep. just the little things that God provides, family, friends, a work environment, wages, salary, whatever it may be. It's time to kind of just develop a kind of comprehensive list of things that you can be thankful for. And then a bigger part of that, we'll get in that later. This is first, I want you to first focus on you. Then we'll get into the grander scale of what we should be thankful for. I mean, in terms of what God would want us to sense and see and realize that he's doing. Because a lot of times what we're thankful about is just me and mine. Well, the world is bigger than just me and mine. The world, what God's scope of concern and compassion and his empathy and his sensitivity is bigger than just us. So part of the prayer process too is to gain an appreciation for things outside of ourselves, other people, other concerns, the kingdom's agenda and itinerary. And so you got to have a little bit of that scope too to have the proper motive in prayer and to please God and how we come before him. So we'll talk about some of that after we develop our list of things to be thankful for. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and list those things that are troubling or are causing some pain or difficulty or what you may consider to be your needs. And go ahead and list in there some of your desires, your needs, and some of your desires. Now these desires got to be godly now. God bless. God bless.